What's up, guys? I'm Tanasha Moyo, and welcome to another episode of Stride. On this channel, my goal is to inspire people to take the first step. Guys, I apologize. I'm really sorry. I just thought of something crazy, all because of my one of my good friends called Panashe Makaore. He said something really crazy not too long ago, so I'm really sorry about that. Uh, Panashe, you owe me one. Because I never have any bloopers in my intros, and now I do, all thanks to you, bro. On this channel, my goal is to inspire people to take the first step towards their goals in life using my. Wait, I just felt like I said, my goal is to inspire people to take the first step towards their girls. On on this channel, my goal is to on this channel, my goal is to inspire people to take the first step towards their goals in life using my personal experiences. And in this video, I will be talking about my journey to becoming a better uncle. So sit back and enjoy the ride. Welcome back, people. And whoops, I did it again.
Oh my god.
Uh, 3 weeks without another episode. Man.
Shame on me.
You know, okay, listen up. Listen up.
Let me tell you something! Let me tell you something!
I don't really have quite a valid excuse. And I just want to be honest with you guys. It's just pretty much been me battling things like procrastination and a bit of laziness at the same time. Yeah, of course, sometimes I can come back from work tired, but then I just tell myself like, I just need to relax. Then I can just pick it up tomorrow. So you end up spending like 2-3 weeks without even shooting anything, which is not a good thing because I mean, for you guys, you're always waiting for something, and I'm not even able to give it to you consistently like I used to do before. So, I just want to apologize to you guys. I feel like I really owe it to you in the best way possible. And at the same time, I also want you guys to see all of this, to be able to go through this journey with me. Because sometimes, it's always easy for people to just say, take the first step and then just roll with it. There's been, I think, a number of people who are quite successful in just going, like they just don't know how to give up. And then there's people like me who just go through stumbling blocks. And it's it's not like every week I'm not feeling guilty. I always feel guilty every week I don't put out an episode. And I'm just like, what do I need to fix? What do I really need to do? You know? So, yeah, I'm just happy to be doing this again. Kind of feels stupid saying this because I said it before, like I came back forever and then I dipped again. But I think that's the whole purpose, the whole idea for Stride. At least you get to understand, like, okay, even when it gets to a point where the brand really succeeds, it really gets bigger, you guys can always look back with me and just say, okay, we actually saw how this guy moved. He went through phases where he would just, you know, not do anything at all. But yeah, I'm just gonna do my best to give you guys content as much as I can, because I've got really good things in store for you guys, and I truly believe this thing is gonna be successful. These have just been setbacks uh, for me to like really move forward, like really bounce back in a very strong way. So yeah, I hope you guys accept my apology or apologies, because I know it's not one. But yeah, please do accept my apologies, and let's get on with the show. So it is now time for the main event. I mean, the main story. Anyways, I'm here to talk about my nephew called Dylan Moyo. Dylan was born on the 17th of October 2013 in India. He's the son to my second oldest sister, Sandra. So, I was overjoyed by the fact that he was born, and that made me an uncle, something that I yearned for, quite a long time. So he spent like 2 years in India together with his mom, because his mother was doing a master's in English. I hope I got that correctly. In India, scholarship. So she had to at least finish and graduate in those 2 years. So during those 2 years, we would see his progress, how he grew. She would always send us pictures of the kid doing different things, watching TV, even just voice notes of the kid mumbling, you know. And I couldn't wait to meet the guy, you know. You could actually see how much of a good kid he was, how much of a happy kid he was. It really made us happy here to know that Dylan, Dylan rather, is now in existence. So 2015, after my sister graduated, they came back home. It was just Dylan and my sister, his mother. So we got to meet him finally, and yeah, you could actually see how cool he was. He had this really cool haircut. He just had this thing, about him. So we got home, caught up with my sister, and then with Dylan, he was still young, so we just needed to give him a little bit of time so that we could understand each other, so that he could know who was who is uncle, who is granny, or in our culture, gogo, who is grandpa, who is seguro, that kind of thing. So we just needed days to really catch up for him to adapt to the situation, adapt to the whole environment and everything. So yeah, it ended up being that.
King was it? Yay!
I think we bonded really well, and I would have actually some cool moments with him, because uh, because you want to be a good uncle, you want to be the cool uncle. I would always bring him to my room and just have him sit on the couch or just the bed, any place he would feel comfortable with. So while I would do my thing on the computer, be it work or just surfing the internet, I would always play music just like I still do. I would always play music, and the first song he got to listen to, the song he got to vibe to, was the hit single by Justin Bieber called "What Do You Mean," which came out that very same year. You know, the kid would be so happy listening to Justin Bieber. He would jump on the couch, jump on the bed, just dance, even on the floor. You could actually see how happy he really was. And I really enjoyed moments like those. And I then got him to listen to Justin Timberlake as well. There was a song in particular called, there is a song in particular called Say Something, which Justin Timberlake collaborated with country singer called Chris Stapleton. So, you know, the kid, you could see, just like any other kid, you could see how, you know, intelligent he was. Like kids, it's always easy for the kids um, to pick up things. He could easily capture the lyrics. And good thing, I was playing decent music. So at least he would capture good things, which he would always sing about. I remember this one time, I think was it American Music Awards or MTV Music Video Awards? I can't really remember. I remember my sister telling me that Dylan actually saw Justin Bieber like on the TV. I think he was performing. I didn't watch those awards, but then my sister told me like, oh, he saw Justin Bieber on the TV, and he got so happy. He got close to the TV, started hugging the TV, and starts yelling, "Justin Bieber, Justin Bieber." He would put an M before the B. You could see how happy he really was. So I was just like, okay, I think I just developed quite an interesting culture for the kid. I hope. So, yeah. And time would pass. I would even have like he would even come to my room like for sleepovers. We would watch movies. I made the kid watch so many movies, man. At least good movies, cartoons like Minions, Minions, uh, and any other good movie that I would think of. It even got to a point where some of the movies I would get, uh, it was because I had him in mind. So I had this thing where I just wanted to create a culture where he would really feel comfortable with me, where he would enjoy himself in my space. And it ended up being that. But also at the same time, I wanted this thing to be something like where he gets to be disciplined as well. Because I would get to points where sometimes I would just be frustrated. You know how kids are, right? And you just want to make them understand like what you did wasn't right, what you did was wrong. So we have to fix this, we have to fix that. Sometimes with kids, you could just spank them a little bit. Uh, and kids are kind of sensitive, they start crying immediately. But like try to find a balance with the kid just to make him understand what's good and what is not good. So we did just that, and we actually spent quite a lot of time. I even made him watch wrestling. you know, a good thing he didn't grow up to be a violent kid. He wasn't even violent when he was in his much younger days, and you could actually see that the wrestling thing would actually latch on to him in some kind of way. In wrestling, there's this thing where you just, I think there's a move called the Irish whip, where you get to throw your opponent to the rope and then he comes back or she comes back. So you could actually see Dylan in the kitchen, like just running across the kitchen, going like door to door. He's just imitating that. but he never like um, you know made a fist just to beat up someone. So at least that was a good thing. And we even got to a point where um, I took him to the movies to watch the Incredibles 2. And the movie had just come out, and I just wanted him to have a little bit of fun, and we did. We had a lot of fun watching the movie. I remember this other time as well. We I think we went as a family to the movies. I think it was my sister, uh, Dylan himself, and me, and probably my parents as well. So they went and watched another movie, and then me and Dylan had to go and watch. I think it was Dora the Explorer, because I had already seen the movie that my parents were watching. I can't remember if it was Avengers or something. I can't really remember. So we ended up just watching the movie, just the two of us and no one else. But still, we we really enjoyed that moment. So I'd even go for walks with the kid, you know. So I, you know, something changed as time passed by. Like, I don't know. I think I started growing in my frustrations, my emotions, because at that time I'd, I'd, I think I'd gone to work the year they came back in 2015, but then it was just 2 months. It was short lived, and then I was homeboy again. So I think I ended up being frustrated with the whole thing, that I wasn't going to work, I wasn't getting anything. So yeah, I think it affected me in a negative way, to the point where sometimes I would end up yelling to the kid. I remember one point, to be specific, where I was helping him to do his homework. So sometimes we have to understand kids when we are helping them out. They they can be sorry they can be at a point where they still don't know everything, and this is where us as guardians or parents are there to assist the kids. So I think I asked him a question, and he didn't get the answer right, and like I actually burst, like I really yelled at him, and you could actually see um tears like filling his eyes, and then the kid just starts crying, man. And that moment in particular, even to this day, it really breaks my heart when I think of it, because I was just like, man, I could have handled this situation better. Like, whenever I think of it, it really breaks my heart. But then something again switched in me, and I was just like, hey, you know what? Um, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I made you cry. And then you could see that in that moment, the kid got so relieved that he started laughing, and he just said, oh, I didn't cry because you yelled. I cried because I was hungry. I was like, bro, I think we all know why you cried. But I was just like, okay, I think this is like um quite a decent step. And so I borrowed this thing from a TV series called Defending Jacob. I hope maybe some of you may have watched it. Um, and it stars Chris Evans. So he would get to moments where he would just yell to his kid. And just after he yells, he would just be like, oh, I'm sorry I yelled. And to me, I really resonated with that message. I felt those words were really powerful and they would work in real life. So I tried them out, and they did. So I was just like, okay, I think this is quite a different thing. Now, before that, there would be moments where I would just yell mercilessly aimlessly. And the kid that then got to a point where, um, he got to points where instead of respecting me, man, English is a little bit hard sometimes, but yeah, he would actually start fearing me. You know, there was a difference. You could see it, you could feel it, but then I couldn't really change. I was just like, yeah, that's what I need. I just snapped. I would get so caught up in my own emotions and frustrations and forget about how the kid would feel. It would even get to moments where he would ask to sleep over at my room just to watch movies. And I would say no, because I would want to do my own thing. I would want to watch my own things, you know? And after you say no, you could just see the disappointment on his face and you just be like, yeah, I don't I don't care, And I think it even got to a point where my sister would actually think that I really don't care about the kid. But it's not even the case. Even to this day, I've got mad love for the kid. I really do. But it's just a thing where I was just like, I couldn't control my emotions at all. And time passed. I started growing, we started growing apart because of the fact that I wasn't really giving him enough time, at least for us to bond, to chill, to actually understand some of the things that are going on or that were going on in his life. Because with things like these, kids go through so many different things. And as the older folks, sometimes um, we really don't create spaces where we can really get to understand, um, you know, these kids. So sometimes you'd hear different things like, oh, I'm not saying it's just him, but it's like every kid always has their own thing. I was a kid before, I had my own things, right? But I think I started changing bit by bit to the point where if I would hear um, any of the things that he would have done, first of all, I would start by looking at myself and just checking my past like, okay, I did it before. The same thing that he has done, or maybe something slightly different, I did it before. And for me to be able to um, rectify the situation, I just have to look at how I used to do things before. That would at least help me, to fix things with him. So sometimes I would just, take him aside and just speak to him in a gentle way, just to understand um, what would be going on in his mind, in his life, and it would be helpful. But still, I would fluctuate. I remember this one time in particular, this weekend. Uh, we watched movies from Friday. We kind of spent time together. I even bought him a pen just to do his homework. Uh, yeah, I was like the cool uncle, the cool dad again. Like, yeah, cool. Sunday, uh, he had a good time. He really enjoyed it. Monday, I switched. I'm back to my usual ways. I'm not tolerating the kid. I'm just moody, you know? It would even get to points where he would be scared to even ask something simple. Because for me, I would just burst just like that, you know? And when I think of all of those moments, you know, I feel so disappointed in myself. Like, I hate myself so bad for, always acting like that. But then again, at the same time, sometimes life has to be like that because things don't always go the way they're supposed to. And we should at least understand all of that. So it took time for me to really change. I remember this one moment in in particular, man, there are just too many particular moments, but I think you guys need to at least hear these moments, right? Um, we were just talking and passing, right? And this kid just said to me, "Oh, do you still remember this one time when I was younger, when I asked to sleep with you and you said no, and I got mad?" And then I was just like, "Wow, man, this is um wow. This is actually crazy." Like if he can remember things like that, exactly the way he felt, I was just like, man, this is going to be a problem. If I don't fix myself, if I don't fix the situation, that's going to be a big, big problem. If this kid can remember something that happened a couple of years ago and he clearly remembers the emotion, that's going to be a big, big problem. And if I don't fix the situation, we're never going to be close again. You know, I just thought to myself, like, I remember my relationship with my dad, right? I'm not saying my dad is a bad person. Now, I'm not saying my dad is a bad person. No, I love my dad to death. Like, he's my role model, you know? But when I was growing up, my dad had his own way of disciplining me. And uh, there were just some things that were not addressed as I was growing up. I think I addressed some of those issues in my one of my previous videos, right? So I grew up with this fear, we were a little bit distant, right? And I'm thankful that I grew up to be someone who tries to make situations better. And I've been working on making things better with my dad. So I was just like, if I don't, uh, if I don't fix things with my nephew, he's still going to get into the space that I once got into, and we may never be good friends. So, I had to pray for these things and also get to speak to a couple of different people on how I would, fix the whole situation about myself. Because it's not the kid who's at fault, right? It's not the kid. Kids, as they grow up, they are bound to make mistakes. Even us, as the older folks, we still make mistakes, lots and lots of them, right? But we still get to learn from those things. So I was just like, you know what? You can't keep being consumed in your own emotions. Even in my work, I would be consumed in my work to the point where I was just like, I don't want to hang out with you because I'm busy. So the next time he wants to hang out with me, he has to ask if I am busy, and it's not even supposed to be like that. So I was just like, you know what? Let me do my best to put some of these things aside, because a lot of the times we're just worried like, oh, I'm going to lose time, but then it's not even supposed to be the case. You are scared of losing time because you're just thinking of your career. You're just thinking of the money. You're just thinking of yourself. You're not even thinking about losing your own family forever. Because if you lose something like money today, you can still work for it and get it tomorrow. But if you lose something like family, money doesn't have emotions, money doesn't have feelings. Family, particularly the kid, has emotions. They can remember these bad memories, So I was just like, you know what? I really need to fix myself first, because if I don't, we're gonna be in big trouble. So I started out allowing myself to spend more time with the kid. And we worry ourselves sometimes. We always think like, oh, you're supposed to spend 5 hours with the kid. You're supposed to spend uh, this much with the kid. Even spending 15 minutes, 20 minutes with the kid, it's actually enough. You know, it's actually enough. You can build things from there. And that's the kind of approach I started taking to at least make things better. And you then start to hear the kids speaking. Uh, I remember this one time. I think we're just talking in general, and then he asked where I got my laptop, and then I told him that I got the laptop from my cousin's sister, Sibongile Moy, and he was like, "Wow, all this time I used to think that you got the laptop from church." And then I was like, "Bro, why would you think of something like that?" Because he was just like, "Oh, because I always saw you doing so much for the church. I always saw you being busy at church. So I just thought that it's the place that hands you things." So in my mind, I was just like, "So when I grow up, I'm gonna get my own laptop from the church." I was just like, "That's a crazy mind." But I really enjoy this thing. I really enjoy this conversation. And he kind of thinks like me. I'm like a crazy person. Like I've got crazy thoughts sometimes. I always get crazy thoughts actually. And then I was just like, okay, so what happens if I get to hear more of his thoughts? If I get to understand how he speaks, what he likes, what he doesn't like, even about the things that I do. And so I started playing football last year in February. He started playing football a couple of years before me, right? And I figured that one of the things we can actually have in common, we can actually build a solid ground on, is football. So I would have moments where I think most of the time when I would just train at home, he would actually join me. But before I actually changed, I would have moments where I would just be moody. I would train alone. He would open the door just to check what's happening outside. He would know it's me, but just the thing where he's scared, so he has to find a way to really see what's going on. I wouldn't even flinch. I wouldn't even look at him and just call him up. No, I would just do my thing. He goes back inside. But now it's a different case. When I get back from work, I'm just like, hey, you want to do football today? Let's do it. And, he, he's actually we're actually enjoying spending more time together. So, um, you know, sometimes you won't want to forgive yourself for things in the past, but kids, um, they just want to feel that love, to feel that hand. Because I noticed that even if I had messed up a couple of years back, just inviting him in, just taking him back and bringing him closer actually puts a huge smile on his face. So I think these are some of the things that I've learned. I've had to learn the hard way, and I'm actually due to go see him play football at the soccer sessions, because he goes to ACE's Youth Soccer Academy and is actually improving. Even when we play at home, he gets to learn a couple of things from me, the dude who's still the amateur, but that kind of thing. We've actually built a strong bond now. So I'm quite happy with where we are now. And I know we're actually going to do uh, bigger things, better things with him, because now he feels more safe. He's, he's actually smiling more often now when he's around me. You can actually see that there's still respect, but the fear is going away bit by bit. So, that's just the crazy journey that I've been with my nephew. The moral of the story is this: moral, man. The moral of the story is this. Um, as older people, yes, it's understandable. We get so many frustrations, we get so busy with work, but let's not forget family, particularly these young kids. Because when they grow older, they can forget about us. They are the ones that are going to take care of us. And let's also understand, that change doesn't happen in an instance. You know, it takes time, you know, step by step, or better yet, stride. Um, yeah. So we need to allow ourselves to progressively change. It's not like you're just going to tell yourself that I'm tired of being an angry person. I'm tired of being a sad person. So from now on, I want to change. And then all of a sudden, like you transform like Optimus Prime. It's not even, it's supposed to be like that. It's I mean, an example is time. For us to get to 1 hour, from 12 to 1, there's seconds, there's minutes, right? The seconds, it's like from 1 up to 60. You then get a minute, right? Until you get to an hour. So it's kind of slow, but you eventually get there if you allow yourself to grow, step by step. So yeah, I think that's pretty much that. Let's show love as much as we can, you know. Um, don't be consumed in work. Don't be consumed in frustrations. Of course, some things happen naturally, but let's always forgive ourselves, because the kids will always forgive us, if we give them. The kids will forgive us if we give them the chances. So, thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I am glad to be back again. Yeah, feel stupid saying this, but yeah. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. So, if you've been getting value from my content, please leave your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to know what you think. Leave a like. It actually helps me create more content for you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, and let's move together. Let's enjoy together. Let's share stories together, and, you know, let's grow together. So, yeah, this is from me to you. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Most importantly, 3 weeks is a long time without releasing anything. But I just want to thank each and every one of you uh, that have stuck by me and waited until another episode is out. Sometimes I get to check my subscribers. The numbers actually don't move because it's like an upward progression, and then it just kind of stays there. It doesn't go low. So I'm thankful for you guys. Thankful for you to. So I'm thankful to you guys for, maintaining that. And may God bless you in every way possible. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.